You ever notice how it seems like everyone is afraid of love now? Like, actually afraid, like, fucking terrified. Not even just cautious, just purely scared. It's wild. It's people out here dodging love like it's a bullet. But at the same time, they're dying for it. You scroll through social media and it's all heartbreak posts, trust no one energy, and I'm better off alone mantras. But let's be real. Are you really? Or are we just terrified of looking stupid for trying? It's almost like we forgot what love is supposed to feel like. Now it's a game of who can care less first, who can stay the most mysterious, who can act like they don't need anybody more. Relationships have become battles of indifference. Like the moment you show vulnerability, you lose. But what exactly are we losing? Dignity? Pride? Some made up rule book that says if you care too much, you're weak? I think it's ridiculous. And yet, it seems like everybody's playing the game even if they don't want to. And what's even worse is that we tricked ourselves into thinking that love is something we have to earn through withholding. Like if you play it too cool, if you act just distant enough, then maybe you'll be desirable. That's not love, y'all. That's fear dressed up as strategy. And the irony is that the more we try to act like we don't care, the more we end up pushing away the very thing or person we care about. That's what I'm just yapping about today, y'all. The lack of genuine love. I feel like people used to dream about love, now they dread it. And that should tell us something. It should tell us that maybe we've been tricked in some way. Tricked into believing that love is a weakness when really it's the strongest thing we can do. Tricked into thinking that being alone is a flex when really it's just a lonely defense mechanism. And the saddest part, we don't even realize it. At some point, I feel like we got in our heads that rejection is the worst possible thing that can happen to us. Like if you shoot your shot and miss, straight break, airball type shit. You should just pack it up, never try again, and be lonely for the rest of your life. But why? Rejection isn't an attack. Is someone just simply saying, hey, this isn't the right fit. We are not compatible. I don't see it. That's it. That is it. But I feel like people take it so personally. They take it as proof as like they're not good enough. That people shouldn't have tried in the first place. And because of that, people stop trying. People act too cool, too unbothered. And deep down, y'all are miserable because of this. How many relationships have never started because two people were too scared to be the first one to just say, hey, I actually like you? How many beautiful moments have been wasted because somebody was afraid of looking like a fool? And let's talk about how stupid not trying actually is. Think about it. If you really like someone, you listening to this, watching this right now, if you really like someone, if they make your heart race, if they make you feel something, then what are you gaining by pretending you don't care? What is that? Pride? What does pride even do for you at night when you're laying there alone, wondering what could have been? Pride won't hold your hand. Pride won't make you laugh. Pride won't go get tacos with you at 2 a.m. Pride won't love you, fam. The worst part is we are robbing ourselves of experiences I think we'll never get back. You can't go back in time and tell someone how you felt after they already moved on. You can't rewrite a moment where you realize you should have been vulnerable, but you chose to act indifferent instead. And when you realize this, when you realize that opportunity is gone, then that's when regret sits in. And regret is so much worse than looking stupid. It's so much worse than looking stupid. Because here's the thing. Love will always make you look a little stupid. Like it will. Love will always make you look a little stupid. That's part of it. Being so caught up in a person that you do embarrassing things. It's being so unguarded that you say corny shit and send dumb texts and laugh too hard at their jokes. Love makes you soft, not weak. And people run from that softness because they think it makes them weak. But it doesn't. It makes you alive. A lot of people aren't even rejecting love because they don't want it. They're rejecting it because they think something better might be out there. Might be out there. Something better. We've been conditioned to believe that we should never settle. Ever. And yes, while that is true, you shouldn't just settle for anybody. You know what I'm saying? But the mindset that there's always that one better person a DM away. And that if we commit to one person, we might be missing out on something even greater. And that's the thing. Like, social media has made us obsessive comparers. You could be in the best relationship of your life, but then you see a couple on TikTok or, doing some elaborate, perfectly edited date night. And suddenly your relationship doesn't feel as special. Or maybe you see a person who looks more attractive or more successful or funnier or whatever, and you start questioning whether you could do better. But here's the truth, y'all. There will always be somebody else out there. Always. No matter who you're with, there will always be someone taller, richer, thicker, funnier, bigger dick, thicker ass, wetter, you feel me? Wetter, you feel me? Or whatever else. But love isn't about constantly chasing the best option in the world. It's about choosing someone, through flaws and all, and deciding that, because everyone has flaws, but flaws and all, and deciding that you love them enough for not only you, but you love them enough for them. That's the part people don't get. Love isn't about finding perfection. It's about finding someone whose imperfections you can love, because none of us are perfect. None of us. And if you spend your whole life looking for someone just perfect overall, not even perfect for you, perfect overall, you'll never actually experience love at all. You'll just be caught in an endless cycle of almost, always searching, never willing, never truly being present. Because here's the thing, I think love isn't about finding someone who checks every box on everyone's list. It's about finding someone who checks the boxes on your list and finding someone whose soul speaks to yours. And no amount of swiping or DMs will ever replace that. And then there's the other side. People who think they aren't enough for love in the first place. The ones who think they need to be better before they can be loved, more successful, more attractive, more put together. The people who are constantly asking, why would someone choose me? But that's the thing about love. It isn't about being good enough. It's about connection. You could be the most perfect person in the world, but if you aren't open to love, it won't happen. And you could be completely lost in life, but if you find the right person, they'll love you through it. I'm not saying you out here being a dickhead. I'm not saying that. But love isn't a prize that you earn. It's something you experience. And you don't have to be perfect to deserve it. You just have to be willing. And let's be honest, half the time the idea of not being good enough or not being enough isn't even something we came up with. It's something we were taught. Society, media, past relationships even, they all told us that we had to be something more than what we are. That love is reserved for the exceptional. That if we aren't at our peak, we aren't worthy. But that's a lie, y'all. Love isn't about being at your best. It's about having someone who can see you at your worst and stays anyway. Now hold on. Wait. When I say worst, I don't mean cheating. I don't mean lying. I don't mean any form of abuse. We ain't rocking with that. You feel me? I'm talking about like you may be a little bit more down financially than you may like. Or you got a bit of credit card debt. A bit. I'm not saying you out here like Bruno Mars and you owe the whole MGM. I'm not saying that. I'm saying shit like if you drool or you snort or you not snort, but like like you do the yuck, like you do like what I'm saying, you goofy laugh or you snore or drool or some shit. Cuz here's the truth, y'all. People need to stop running. Stop hiding behind the irony of detachment and this idea that caring too much is a weakness. Love is the most human thing we have. And yeah, sometimes it won't work out. It won't. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes you'll love someone and they won't love you back or they stop loving you or whatever the case may be. Sometimes you give your all to a relationship and it will still fall apart. And yes, sometimes you will look stupid. You will. Sometimes you absolutely will. But so what? Would you rather be the person who took the risk and experienced love and even though you did get hurt, or the person who just never tried and spent their whole life wondering? Would you rather feel something or numb yourself forever? Y'all, You are good enough to love, and you are good enough to be loved. Love is worth it every single time. And it's time we all start acting like it again. To some of y'all, I really hope y'all listen and open up your ears, your mind, and your hearts to what I'm saying. But who knows? To others, I'm just yapping. I'm RenaMarq. Peace, y'all.